Good afternoon, everyone. It is April the 29th, 2025. Yesterday was our big federal election here in Canada that we had. We had some historic, it was definitely an historic election. We had upsets. We certainly did not come out fully the way everybody expected it to come out. The voter turnout was at historic levels, so in the advanced polls, we had something like 7.3 million voting in the 4 days on the Easter weekend. And then we don't have how many came out to vote yesterday, but it was very historic. Two of the parties, three of the parties lost their MPs. It was from the NDP. They were at 24 when they were sitting in Parliament previous. They went down to 7. The Green Party went down from 2 to 1, and I believe the Bloc Québécois went down from something like 34 to 23, something like that. So they lost, and it was really a head-to-head race between the Liberals and the Conservatives. And so the results are not completed just yet. It takes 172 votes, people in Parliament, members of Parliament, to have a majority government. And in the election, it was announced it was going to be a minority race. However, we're still counting votes. That's how large it was. They were actually hiring extra people because this is not electronically voted. It's where you put your X in the little round squares, or round circle, as I said, and it's all hand done. So they had to give up at 3 o'clock in the morning and to go vote, and there's been recounting the votes today. There's at least 12 ridings, from what I'm understanding, that are still too close to call right now. So I think the Conservatives are something like 144 leading or elected, and the Liberals right now have 168 leading or elected, and this is what I'm saying, and it takes 172 to get the majority for Parliament, and they're 4 away from it in a sense, but we will not have I was hoping by this time that they'd have an account on what the actual vote is, so I cannot tell you the actual vote or the actual numbers, but we do know that the Liberals have re-won. So this is what I was talking about. At least I don't think everything is going to be dismantled because the Liberals have won, because they had all the plans and that in place for the homelessness. So I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen here, but things may get a little bit delayed. Like, we understand that the Governor General here has stated the 29th of May is supposed to be when Parliament comes back and sits, because all these new members of Parliament have to get into their offices and get set up and briefed and everything, ready to go, and they have to get the chamber, Parliament, where Parliament sits, all reorganized for the seats as well. So it takes a little organization from there. And as well, it might even be delayed a little bit longer, from what I've heard too, is because of two of the parties. The Conservative Party, Pierre Poilievre, lost his riding. He lost his seat, so he's no longer the leader of the opposition. So they have to have an interim leader elected before Parliament sits again. So that has to be done, and the same thing with the NDP. They're down to 7 right now, so they have to have an interim leader before they can sit. So there's still a lot of work to do on that. And then, of course, I know our Prime Minister, Mark Carney, is hoping to sit down and wants to talk to Donald Trump, but it was clearly an election on Trump. And this is what our country felt, just like I felt, that as long as we are a democratic, sovereign country, and that's the way we want to stay, and that's the way everyone voted, because we understand that having our country is the most important thing first, and then let us figure out how to run our country. It's through our votes, our free votes. That's being democratic society, and the people had their voice yesterday at the polls. So there's a lot of work to be done, and I'm going to put up another video. It was taken a couple of days just before the election, and again, I was talking about how they're BC was going, BC, and I think it was, what was it, Alberta, was going to have it mandatory for people to go straight into mental health care and addiction care and that, and of course the BC government as well. And right now I understand the BC government is fighting this in court as to whether it's constitutional or not. So on the other hand, Pierre Poilievre, the leader of the Conservative, was also stating that this is what he wanted. He wanted new sweeping changes, like I've been talking about the police just being coming into the encampments and having more power to disband all these encampments of the homeless and that. So it's still a big issue. I just want to put up that too, so that you get to get an idea. But it could be a little bit longer. We have to wait at least another month, maybe a little longer, till Parliament starts sitting. And then, of course, usually Parliament does not sit during the summer months. So this should be interesting, whether they're going to stay on for part of the summer or the whole summer, or just how they're going to sit or how they're going to do this at the moment, because there's so many issues that have to be taken care of. So it's going to be a very interesting time. As I said, it's a historic election. This is going to be one for the books in Canada. It's going to be looked at and dissected for a very long time as to what went wrong and how we ended up like this. But it was really an election on Trump. We want our country. Get out, stop interfering in our politics, and and we're not going to be your 51st state. So that's where I'm going to leave it today, everyone. So everyone, take care. Have a good day. Definitely watch your surroundings, and we shall talk again soon. And be safe. Bye-bye.